Offshore Accident Lawyer (FVF) Law. FVF Law is a values driven law firm. Click here to see if our values align. FVF Law Injury Attorneys. Offshore Accident Lawyer. Working offshore can be exciting, but it can also be dangerous no matter how many safety precautions you take. Accidents and injuries are common and sometimes fatal. Offshore workers can experience devastating injuries caused by dangerous conditions on offshore platforms, crew board checkup breaks and tankers and in the ocean itself. Workers often are not sufficiently trained and work long hours, with few breaks making the risk of injury even higher. When a serious injury occurs in an offshore accident, it can be emotionally and financially devastating for the victim. It can also be hard to determine where to start when it comes to recovering damages from personal injury or wrongful death. A good place to start is to contact an offshore accident lawyer with experience in personal injury and maritime law who can wade through the complex details of your case and help you get the best recovery possible. Common causes of offshore accidents. Offshore and oil field accidents are often preventable. They can happen during basket transfers, line handling, vessel collisions, and diving operations. Many accidents are the same as you did encounter in many workplaces, such as equipment failures and slip and falls. But because working offshore is a more high risk workplace environment and injury may also result from a fire or explosion. Dep- Despite the big budgets associated with the oil industry, there is sometimes very little training and oversight on an oil rig. This type of employer negligence can result in an unsafe working environment that leads to underqualified employees performing dangerous tasks they, that they are not properly trained for, resulting in serious injury. Offshore accidents commonly lead to lead trauma, spinal injuries, severed limbs, and other serious injuries. These injuries are often specifically caused by oil rig injuries. Workers on oil rigs use complex and cumbersome equipment to drill and perform other tasks. Many workers are not properly trained on how to use the needed equipment, which increase the risk of offshore accidents caused by human error. Deck accidents. The deck of an oil rig can be a chaotic environment where frenzied workers must constantly be on high alert. Workers are surrounded by trip hazards, fall hazards, electrical hazards, crush hazards, and pinch point hazards. They can easily be struck by heavy equipment, slip on wet surface, or fall when the sudden lurch of the vessel causes them to lose their balance. Equipment failure. When equipment on an offshore vessel fails, it can result in a number of severe injuries. Workers can be burned or electrocuted, crushed, and even lose limbs. Operating machinery on an oil rig requires a high level of cohesion to prevent injuries from occurring. Fires and explosions. While not common, fires and explosions are some of the most deadly causes of offshore accidents. They can happen as the result of improperly stored fuel, poorly maintained pipelines, or collisions between vessels. The when there is a fire, workers may have to jump off the rig into the ocean, often from a height of at least 100 feet. Even though workers are typically trained in the proper way to jump, the stress of the situation may result in a jump that leads to severe injury or drowning. Accidents caused by fire and injury can lead to life altering injuries and even the loss of an entire vessel and the people on it. Other vessels injuries also commonly occur on tugboats and barges. The, these include falling overboard, tool lines parting, and handling heavy lines. If helicopters are used to transport workers offshore, there is a risk of injury from a helicopter crash. When you are experiencing any type of offshore accidents, no matter the case, it can be physically and emotionally traumatic. You may find yourself trying to heal from your injuries while figuring out how to deal the loss of a regular and substantial paycheck that supports your family. Offshore accident lawyer in Austin, Texas, and here to help you determine the cause of your accident. Damages is damages in an offshore accident case. Wait, okay. An offshore accident can be devastating to you and your family. You may have injuries that require extensive and ongoing medical attention and rehabilitation, leading to medical bills that seems to keep building up, or a family may have experienced a fatal accident that has caused endless pain and suffering. When you have also lost your main source of income, it can feel like you are never relief. An offshore accident lawyer can help you determine the amount of damages you may have to able to recover and negotiate on your behalf to make sure you get the best recovery possible. Depending on your case, you may be eligible for damages that includes lost legs, medical expenses, figurements, emotion, trauma, and pain and suffering. So all that stuff is include offshore accident lawyer. Thanks for watching video. See you soon. Have a nice day.